welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name's Erin and this channel is all about how you can create your own path to health, wealth and happiness. Today's video is inspired by one of the most popular questions that I get asked in my comments and by my clients, and that is, how do I stop procrastinating? If I had $1 for every time that someone asked me how do I stop procrastinating, I'd be an extremely rich person. Nevertheless, this question is definitely one that is worth touching on, so I thought I would address it in this video today. If you did like the video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, as it really does help the channel out a lot. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every Tuesday and Sunday. Now, what you might not realize is there is actually two main types of procrastination, and I am going to be covering both of them here today. The first is procrastinating out of fear, and the second is procrastinating out of lack of reason. So the first procrastination is procrastinating out of fear. Now, our brains are amazing things, but they are only designed to do a number of things, and that is basically to keep us safe and to procreate. And while this is amazing, it can prevent us from doing many of the things in life that we so desire to do. Our brains have the ability to sense fear. The only problem with that is that it cannot distinguish what the fear is of. So for example, our brains might get really frightened when we are faced walking down a dark alleyway at night by ourselves, and our brains will do everything in its power to prevent us from doing so. Now that is an amazing quality because of course walking down a dark alley at night is quite dangerous, and our brains stopping us from doing that could potentially save our lives. On the other hand, our brains will often stop us from starting a new career, building a business, taking on an entrepreneurial journey, taking the leap, quitting our jobs, because it is the same sort of fear as walking down a dark alley at night. Our brain is stopping us from doing these things because it's scary. All our brain is trying to do is save our life. But unfortunately, we do not have the same risk involved in starting a business as walking down a dark alley at night, and that risk being that our life is in danger. So what you need to understand is that procrastination, if you are procrastinating from doing something that you deeply desire to do, so something like starting a business, know that it is just fear holding you back because your brain is trying to keep you safe. All you need to do in this circumstance is thank your fear for showing up, but then kindly tell it that it is not required and to do the task anyway. So if you were trying to start a business and you find yourself procrastinating because you are too scared of failing, or you're too scared of people judging you, or I mean the list is endless of the things you might be scared of, which lead to procrastination. All you need to do basically is do it anyway. I wish there were some secret formula that I could give you that was going to help you stop that fear. And I mean there is, because that is something we focus on in the Make Collective coaching program. We focus on how to limit these fears. But all I can really say to you here today is if you do feel fear, and if fear is leading to procrastination on tasks that you know you deep inside want to do, all you can do is do it anyway. Elizabeth Gilbert actually gives a really good example of this in a talk that I just watched the other day. And she was saying when she felt the fear of going on stage and talking in front of a whole bunch of people, well, her body is obviously just trying to keep her safe, because talking in front of people is really scary. I mean, it's probably as scary as coming face to face with a lion who could potentially attack and kill you, but it's definitely not the same situation. Elizabeth explains it as she recognizes the fear is there, but she reassures her fear that thank you, but you are just not required. This is not a life or death situation. So all you need to do is basically recognize that you are just fearful of what the outcome could potentially be, feel the fear and do it anyway. The second type of procrastination is when something is just not important. Now, when I was in high school, I would constantly, every single morning without a doubt, wake up and tell my mum that I was way too tired to go to school. I just couldn't go to school. I couldn't lift my body up. I was just too tired. And my mum would say the same thing to me every single time. She said, Erin, you're not tired. If there was $1 million waiting for you in school, you'd be there with bells on. And this is so true. Many times in life we procrastinate from doing things because it's just not important to us. Now, unfortunately, many of us are in situations where we're at high school or university, and sometimes we do just need to do things that we don't feel like doing. But the best way to manage this is to find a compelling reason why you are doing what you are doing. Obviously, if you're in high school, it's a little bit hard to discover because you're not following your life's passion. You are doing work that is prescribed to you by society, but you can still find good in anything that you are doing. When it does come to work, however, you need to identify the opportunities that can come out from anything that you're doing, and even if these opportunities are made up. So I often used to say to myself when I was in a position in a job that I didn't necessarily like, but I used to make little things up to myself like, oh, maybe if I do this right, I might be put in front of this person, and basically just create a chain of events in my mind that wasn't necessarily true, but it helped me get through doing tasks that I didn't want to do because I gave myself a reason to do them. Obviously, the contrary to this is to put yourself in a circumstance where you are doing something you're passionate about, and I promise you then the procrastination will fall away. You will have an epic reason why you are doing what you're doing. So just to reiterate then, I know this video was a little bit of a ramble, but the two types of procrastination is 1, procrastinating out of fear, and 2, procrastinating out of not having a compelling reason why you're doing what you're doing. Overcome procrastinating out of fear is to feel the fear and do it anyway. Thank your fear for showing up, but tell your fear that it's not required in this circumstance, that it's not a life or death situation, and that you are absolutely fine, and just go ahead and do it anyway. And the second, procrastinating out of not having a compelling reason why you're doing what you're doing, is to find or make up a compelling reason why you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes in life it does involve a little bit of the Nike slogan and just do it. Sometimes we do have to push ourselves to do things, but I promise you when you have those compelling reasons, it's a lot easier than when you have no reason to complete tasks whatsoever. So I really hope this video gave you a little bit of a better understanding of how to limit your procrastination so you can start following your dreams or getting the most out of what you are doing in life. If you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one.